Hey guys, welcome to FM Driving School. So if you're watching this video, lockdown has now opened up. You're allowed to take driving lessons and driving tests. Or maybe we've gone back into a new lockdown and now we're not prepared for a driving test coming up. We haven't been able to take lessons. Regardless of whether the lockdown's opened up or not, this video is going to help us because we're going to give you a few quick tips in how the driving test is going to be set up and how hopefully you guys can pass the driving test. It's going to be a very short video just so you guys can retain the information that we're going to teach you. Alright, so first of all, let's go through what to take on your driving test. So make sure you have your UK driving license, that's your provisional driving license, your theory test certificate if you have it. It's quite important because some students they forget to bring it along or they've lost it. We're going to go through what happens if you've lost it. It doesn't really matter. A face covering unless you have a good reason not to wear one. A car, most people use a driving instructor's car, but you can use your own car if this meets the rules. So go to the Gov site and click this link to see if your car meets the criterias. Okay. Regarding the theory, let me just go down a bit here. Okay, if you've lost your theory test certificate, you do not need to get a replacement theory test certificate. Your driving examiner will check that you've passed your theory test before driving test starts. Meaning, in order for you to book the practical test, you must have input the theory test certificate number so they know you've passed it. So if you've lost it, fair enough, they're not really going to question you on it, but make sure you can, after the test, if you pass or fail, you can ask for another one to be sent. So first thing is, have the correct documentation. So let's go to the next page now. What happens during your driving test? There are 5 parts to your driving test: the eyesight check, show me, tell me questions, general driving ability, reversing your vehicle, and independent driving. Guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe with me, your fully qualified driving instructor FM. It's only a button in the corner, but it makes a big difference to our channel. Let's get back into it. Okay, how long is the test? It's 40 minutes long. You'll drive around 70 minutes if you're taking the extended test. That's for people who have been banned because you've been banned from driving. 70 minutes long and 40 minutes for general driving. Don't forget, if you fail your test, they're going to terminate the test there and then due to COVID rules. Okay, eyesight, it should be 20 meters in the new style number plates or 20.5 meters for vehicles with an old style number plate. Make sure you guys check your eyesight before you do your driving test, and you'll fail your driving test if you fail the eyesight check. Okay, next is show me, tell me questions. All these things you can go through with your driving instructor, but obviously because of COVID, maybe you haven't been prepared for it, so we're gonna go through it with you anyway. Show me, tell me questions. So they're all online. Check them out. You'll be asked 2 vehicle safety questions from the show me, tell me questions. You'll be asked tell me questions at the start of your test before you start driving, and show me question while you're driving. So 1 question at the beginning of the test and 1 while you're driving. Your general driving ability, you'll drive in various road and traffic conditions. Yes, we know that. Pulling over at the side of the road, this is quite important. Let me tell you, as a driving instructor, actually 1 second, the general driving but not on the motorway, so you're not going to be practicing on the motorway or doing your test on the motorway, just so you know. Okay, you'll be asked to pull over and pull away during your driving test, including normal stop on the side of the road, pulling out from behind a parked vehicle, a hill start. It doesn't have to be all 3, but generally when you're driving in your driving test, and the examiner does make you pull up a few times. Okay, you might also be asked to carry out an emergency stop. So this is quite important. Might, it says you might. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. As an instructor, we teach our students, yes, but we don't expect it to happen in every single driving test, and it doesn't count as a maneuver. So this is something they just add on during the driving test. Reversing your vehicle. The examiner will ask you to do one of the following exercises: parallel park at the side of the road, parking in a parking bay, either by driving in and reversing out or reversing in and driving out, and pull up on the right hand side of the road, reverse for around 2 cars length and rejoin the traffic. So all these reversing exercises we've made in a video, go check it out. FM Driving School. Independent driving, you'll have to drive for about 20 minutes by following either direction from the sat nav or traffic signs. So I would say 95% of the time is sat nav. It doesn't have to be full 20 minutes, it can be about 10 to 15, maybe 20 maximum. The examiner will tell you which you will have to follow. So in the old style driving test, you had to follow traffic signs, but they got rid of that and introduced sat nav. But they're still saying that we can still go back to the old style and do a traffic sign in the driving test. But as I said, 90% to 95% they're doing sat nav now. If you cannot see traffic signs, for example, because it's covered by trees, the examiner will give you directions until you can see the next one. So meaning, and you're in your driving test, the examiner asks you to follow specific directions or the sat nav, but it's obstructed by like big trees or houses or whatever, they will have to help you out. Okay. Going off the route. So we've discussed this in our previous videos thoroughly and in depth. So go watch it where we talk about. Let's see what they say here. The examiner will not give you a fault for taking the wrong turnings. They'll help you get back on the route if you do. So anyway, going back to the point in our previous videos, we talk about how it's not counted as a major fault if you do go the wrong direction. But saying that, the examiner do get slightly peeved off. But as I said, go through our other videos where we go through in depth into what exactly happens if you go the wrong way. If you make a mistake during your test, you can carry on. If you make a mistake, it might not affect your test result if it's not serious. So anyway, as you said, because of COVID, if you do make a serious or major fault, they're going to terminate the test there and then. Let's see the other section if it's important. Driving test and results, quite important here. Okay. So here we go. There are 3 types of faults: dangerous faults, serious fault, driving fault. Main thing is the dangerous and serious faults are major faults. If you make any one of them, you'll fail your test straight away. Okay, pass marks. You'll pass your driving test if you make no more than 15 faults or minor faults and no serious and dangerous faults, which we've talked about already. If you pass your test, the exam will tell you what faults you've made, give you a pass test certificate, and ask if you want your full license to be sent to you automatically, which is the easiest thing. Give the examiner your provisional license and they'll send it to you straight away. If you want to do it yourself, you have to apply within 2 years, it says. Okay, anyway, the point is, this is how the test is set up for you guys. For any of you coming up to the driving test and want an idea what it's going to be like, as we said, we're going to take, let's just go back, what to take. You need these 4 things: a driving license, a theory test certificate if you have it, face covering, and a suitable car. What happens during the test? The test, as I said, is 40 minutes long. Eyesight check, show me, tell me questions, general driving, reversing, and independent driving. And finally, driving test faults. Okay, so you're allowed, there's 3 types of fault: dangerous, serious, and a driving fault. Dangerous is this involves an actual danger to you, the examiner, the public, or property. A serious, something potentially dangerous. And a driving fault, which is a minor fault, this is not potentially dangerous, but if you keep making the same fault, it could become a serious fault. That's actually quite important thing to understand actually. If you keep making the same mistake, a minor fault, it does become actually a major fault, and then therefore you would fail your driving test. And then finally, once you pass, you hand in your provisional license and they'll send you a new one automatically within 2 weeks. If you don't do that, do it yourself, fair enough, but don't forget to apply within 2 years. So hopefully this video was helpful. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to FM Driving School.